in which I need to start thinking about what I possibly want to accomplish for this coming year. The real question is, will I actually accomplish them? Hi guys, it's April, and at the beginning of every year, I like to sit down and give myself a few things that I wish to accomplish for the new year. And this is my 2021 version. It looks a lot like a lot of the other goals that I have set up in the past because there are a lot of things that I have always wanted to accomplish and I never seem to quite get there. And I'm hoping 2021 is the year. Now, by no means is this list the end all be all for what I want to do for 2021, and it's not necessarily the standards in which I'm going to judge the success of this year, but they are things that I want to keep at the forefront of my mind so that I can actively pursue them. None of these goals are very far out of reach, but like I said, they're things that I want to keep at the forefront of my mind, and hopefully I can see some progress in this coming year. I will always and forever, I think at this point, I've pretty much set up my standard for how many books I want to read in a year, and that is 130. I think that is just where I am for this point on going to set my goal is 130 books because I know it is something I want to strive for, but it's not something that I'm going to burn myself out trying to reach. I will, of course, always have that stretch goal of 200 books, but that's more of that would be cool to see and not a hard and fast I need to accomplish this, because I've only ever achieved it 3 times in the last 6 years. So like I said, I want it there for the accomplishment and the ideal, but not something that I'm going to kick myself for not necessarily accomplishing. I never want reading to become a chore for me, which is why I always set 2 separate goals. One I know for sure that I'm going to reach, and one that would be really cool if I accomplish, but I'm not going to be devastated if I don't. I don't know if anybody else sets goals like that, but that's the way I do it. My next goal is kind of attached to that goal, and that is to bring down my physical TBR. I have been putting this on my goal list maybe for the last 3 years or so because I just want to make sure that I'm still reading the books that I own and I'm not getting too distracted by new books coming out, though those new books I'm very okay with getting distracted by. I've got nothing against them. It's just the fact that I have picked up a lot of these books because I was really excited about them at some point in time. I need to get around to them. So right now my TBR sits at about 278 books. I would love to get that down to 200 books. This means for this year, I'm probably going to step back a little bit from NetGalley. I just started NetGalley last year, and I have come to realize that while it is a wonderful tool and it is great to discover books that are coming out, it is also something that kind of took over my life. I ended up reading about 61 arcs and reviewing about 61 arcs, and that kind of pulled me out of reading books that I really truly wanted to read. I mean, I did want to read those arcs, but I found myself reading more things that I didn't quite enjoy simply because I thought I needed to read them compared to books that I have purposely tracked down, I have purposely purchased, I've purposely put on my shelves. And so I need to read those books too. So they're going to be a higher priority for me than the arcs that are coming in. I'm still going to be requesting arcs. I just don't think I'm going to do it in mass like I did in the past. You know, new toys are always so much fun, and then you kind of realize how they take over your life. And that's not necessarily what I wanted to do. So a lot of my focus for the books that I want to read for 2021 are books that I previously own or that I've already pre-ordered or a part of a series that I have currently been reading. And I'm hoping this will be the year that I actually hit 200. I really hope so. And kind of my last bookish reading goal for this year for me is the fact that I need to organize my books. I am now in this new wonderful office library space. I absolutely love it. From a distance, these books look beautifully set up on the shelf, and to an extent they are, but there's really no rhyme or reason to it at this point. I never just sat down and organized these books. I kind of just put them in some kind of aesthetically pleasing order very quickly after all of this was finished. So I need to organize these shelves back here. And I'm also hoping to organize a couple more of my shelves that have just gotten out of control. And with that organization process, I am hoping that at some point I can actually give you some bookshelf tours. They're not things I do very often, and I don't necessarily go through every single book, but I do want to give you an overview of how I choose to organize my personal library and my personal spaces, because I like seeing other people's spaces like that, and I love being inspired by that. And so I want to contribute those kind of books to the YouTube realm, I guess. So if you guys have been looking forward to bookshelf tours for me, 2021 will be your year. It will, I promise. That is why it's a goal. 6 months from now, we'll review whether or not I've accomplished that. As for my other goals for 2021, I only have 2 other goals and possibly a maybe third, something that I just kind of want to keep my eye on. So, as you can see, I am wearing this really fun shirt. This is actually a shirt that I've designed. You can actually purchase it down below in my shop. All the information is down there in case, you like suggestive reading quotes. But I do want to expand my merch line. So the idea is I want to design several more t-shirts, bags, stickers, whatever. And I do actually want to expand it maybe into some illustrations and other things like that. I want it to be a creative project that I can just kind of let myself and my design skills and my graphic design background out a little bit, because it has been quite a while since I've actually done a lot of print design. I've been so focused on digital and UI design that I feel like it's time to get back into the basics and let myself just kind of run with it. So if you have any suggestions on what you would like to see in any of that, leave them down below. I would love to hear what you guys are looking for, what you feel is missing in the bookish merch realm. I'm even thinking about doing some possibly coloring merch as well. It's an idea that I've been percolating in my brain if I do start getting back into illustrative work and design work and that kind of thing. Possibly, maybe, I'm going to put this out into the world and I might regret it, but maybe doing coloring pages, maybe. But that is just a thing. I like to dream sometimes when I'm doing these goal lists. So, that is in the world. Do I regret that that's in the world? Maybe. And I think that creative side, that desire to create merch for you guys kind of nicely merges into the fact that I still want to do some more bookish DIY kind of things. There are several projects that I've kind of had in the back of my mind that I thought would be really fun to do. There's a couple more book defacings that I've been contemplating, and so maybe 2021 is the year for seeing those and actually doing those. I always have these great big grand ideas and then not the time to do them. So I've got a couple books that I think would be great to do book defacings on. But once again, if there are any books that you would like to see me design covers for, just let me know. I think it's so much fun to do. And if there are any kind of crafty booky projects that you are also really interested in, but you don't necessarily know how to tackle, tell me down below. Otherwise, the last little thing that I am hoping to get into 2021 is the fact that this past year, I know it's just been really, really crazy. And so things have gotten a little bit weird for everybody, but I kind of found myself pulling back from the online community. I found myself just kind of isolating myself and becoming this little hermit that was creating content, but not really reaching out to the broader community and doing collabs and interactions and having those back and forths as much as I really want to. And so I want to get back into the practice of that. I've kind of hit the point where I was just kind of going through the motions. I was doing my regular things and I wasn't really expanding to the greater universe. And I think I want to get back into really truly engaging with you guys. And if you have felt that over the past year, I want to apologize. And I know everyone's been dealing with a lot of mental stuff. And I think just this past year just really got to me. And I didn't really see that until quite late into the year. And at that point, I was like too far into my own head that I haven't really pulled out of that. So I do want to start pulling myself back into the community and finding my voice again. So I ask you guys for help in that realm. I know it's not easy sometimes, especially me as an introvert. It's not my natural state, but I do want to interact with you guys because it feeds me in a way that I just love. So 2021, here we come. I'm hoping that it's going to be such a great year and things are going to happen. Tell me down below, what are some of the things that you are hoping to accomplish in 2021, and maybe we can be accountability partners and help push each other up, I guess. Otherwise, if you want to see more content like this, subscribe down below, hit that bell, do all the things to get all of the notifications, and I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.